Welcome to Information Services instructional video series on the top 5 courses tools and how to utilize them. In this video, we will be discussing how to utilize the roster tool. The roster tool displays the names and pictures of site participants, in this case, your class section students. This tool is a helpful way to learn students' names, take attendance, and verify identities during class assignments and assessments. Before diving in, please keep in mind that you do not need to add officially enrolled students to a class site. All registered students are automatically enrolled each business day. First, in terms of photos, select either official photos or profile photos on the top right of your roster page. Official photos are usually the default and are photos fed from the university ID card system, assuming that the student has actually taken an ID card photo. Pictures from profile are the optional profile photos uploaded directly by the students if they have done so. So this is just a tiny feature completely to your preference and completely to your student's preference as well. That feature and just using these photos for reference and attendance in general are the most basic ways to utilize the roster tool. Notice that here it shows you how many participants are currently showed, and then it tells you the roles that each participant has. Usually this would have many more and you would be able to see all of your students. In this course site in particular, we only have 3 people. If you would like to add, remove, or change the roles for participants, that is usually done through the site info tool. But because it's such a frequently asked question and most commonly associated with the roster, we will go over that now. To do so, we will begin by navigating to site info. Once we have reached this page, you will see that you have a list of all of your site participants. Again, in this class site, there's only 3. In yours, there will probably be anywhere between 15 to 30 to even more. You can see that there is their full names right on the left, and then their Pepperdine ID, their roles, their status, and the option to remove. Under Role, you can change access privileges that instructors may want to strongly consider before assigning to users. This may be useful for TAs or if you would like just to make sure that only you have the maintain access. So maintain means that you are the administrator of the page. You're able to make edits and you're able to see it from an admin's perspective. Assist is usually used for TAs, where you will be able to have some features but not complete total editing access as the maintenance role would allow. Access is simply just for participants. So here you can see that Clara and I have admin access, whereas Hong is just having this from the participant point of view. Under status, you can change a user's access to the site. Keep in mind that inactive will provide the student with the inability to access this site. So if I was to click inactive, Hong will now be unable to see the site. Remove is self-explanatory. If you would like to remove a participant, this is where you would do it here. But let's say that this is all that I want to do. In order to finalize your decisions, you would click Update Participants at the top to process any changes. And here you have it. Now, to add participants, simply go to the left of the Manage Participants on your toolbar and select that tab. To add official Pepperdine users, such as like faculty, staff, students, or even previously added guests, you may either enter the individual's network ID username, for instance, it's first letter of the first name and then full last name, or you can enter their formal email address, which would be their first name dot last name at pepperdine.edu, usually. Non-official participants are usually people who are not associated with Pepperdine or do not have Pepperdine email accounts. This we can skip for now, but know that the option is there just in case. Notice how I have put 2 names. This is usually not what you would like to do if you just want to add 1 person. You will either choose either or. But let's say for this demonstration, here, these would be 2 completely different individuals. In order to upload multiple people at once, you can simply just enter the name on a separate line as I did here. Below, you can choose whether to assign all users to the same role or assign each participant a role individually. This is only useful if you would like to have one person as a TA under the list that you have just created. Otherwise, you can just give them all access role and click assign all participants to the same role. Participant status means that whether or not they will be able to see the site. Active means that they will be an active participant within the site, and let's just leave it at that and click continue. Now you may choose your role for the participant, let's just say access, and then click continue at the bottom. You will then be given an option whether or not you would like to send an email to notify the user that the site is available. You can either click send or don't send. For this purpose, we're going to say don't send. Here you will be having an overview of all of the people that you have added. Notice how this person is different. That is simply because the user that we entered in at the beginning did not exist. You would get an error saying that the name is either incorrect or does not associate with a Pepperdine address, and therefore you would have to re-enter a proper name. Here is an actual student, and we will click finish to confirm all of our decision making. And now you will be brought back to the list on your site info under Manage Participants to see everyone who has access, maintenance to the site. Circling back to the roster tool, you will see that a different user has been added and Hong, who has been removed from site access, is no longer present underneath this roster tool. This brings us to the end of this video tutorial. For more information on how to utilize these tools for faculty, please visit our LawTech website. Feel free to continue along with our other video guides to see how else you can use courses to your full advantage.